Greetings, all! Today, we'll be examining the mythical fire-water-type Pokemon Volcanion, the Steam Pokémon. A glorious sight of fire and water mixing together to bring the utmost power of steam forth, Volcanion are powerful brutes that can make good use of both elements to blast away anything that dares to cross them.
Volcanion have large quadrupedal bodies covered in thick, dark red plated hide, with 4 large black legs capped with yellow joints and thickly plated red feet, with 3 golden claws each, a tail with a black upper form, and an almost geometrically shaped torso with a pair of yellow barb-like protrusions on the front of their chest. They also possess an armored head with 2 ear spikes on the top, black necks and inner ears, a yellow mandible, 2 pairs of nostril holes, and yellow eyebrow shields to protect their vibrant aquamarine eyes. The upper part of their torso further features a large pair of cylindrical, tube-like segmented appendages with 3 blue portholes each that come together and link via 3 clawed dual coupling link at each end, and are used to fire scalding water and steam for offense.
Volcanion are walking biological contradictions and are duly noted as the only Pokemon that can possess the natural attributes of both the fire and water types as a result of their extremely bizarre and complex anatomy.
From what can be told from the few encounters that have been made with these animals, it seems they are most likely mammals with a thick armored hide that protects well against physical attacks, which is a good thing because the inside of them can almost be considered a living pressure cooker. As strange as it might seem, it appears that the muscular system of Volcanion is powered not by electrical impulses, but steam that is pumped through their bodies at incredible velocities to allow them to move their enormous bulk with relative ease. Volcanion possess an advanced thermoregulatory system that enables them to regulate their body temperature by constantly venting steam from their bodies, creating a safe system that enables full locomotion without cooking their insides in the process. Near the top of their back is a large organ that functions as a heat conductor, breaking down nutrients gathered from water, plant, and meat material and using them to fuel intense metabolic reactions that superheat water stored in the large hump on their backs, creating nearly infinite amounts of steam in the process. How the water is absorbed is still the question of some debate, but it is theorized that it is probably a combination of nutrient-rich spring water and water taken straight from the atmosphere through small pores in the hide.
In battle, Volcanion are able to use their rugged bodies to deal considerable damage in close quarters, but in general, they prefer to use their natural powers to attack from afar, and can do so as a result of a third pair of limbs on their back that act as a sort of hands for these beasts.
While they are normally cupped together to help contain pressurized steam, when a Volcanion need use a fire or water type attack, they can detach them and spray the attack at high velocity through these limbs, making them akin to high-pressure water pumps. The speed at which their attack leaves the arms, however, is much faster than what is measured in any other Pokemon of their type, so much in fact that enables them to utilize the scald attack with its ferocity that it changes into a new move altogether, the Steam Eruption attack, which shares all the same basic properties but is as powerful as the Hydro Pump attack and in turn a devastating weapon in battle. This, in combination with the access to water absorb as the only ability and the strong stats, with only the base HP and speed stats being below average for a fully evolved fire and water type Pokemon, makes Volcanion a devastating force on the battlefield and not something you want to anger in the slightest.
Possibly because of their strange anatomy, it seems that Volcanion are loners and prefer to remain outside of human contact if at all possible.
This may be because Volcanion have been known to occasionally release so much steam at once to regulate their body temperature that they turn into a walking cannon, creating water-based explosions of energy so intense that they can level an entire mountain in a single blow. Interestingly enough, some locals in the Kalos region treat Volcanion as a religious symbol because of this, as the flat rugged terrain that the Kalos power plant and these locals live on was created when a mountain was leveled by a Volcanion superpowered steam eruption attack, granting these people a place to live. Nonetheless, because of this terrible power, Volcanion prefer to remain hidden and can do so by releasing large plumes of steam for long periods of time to create a vast fog that literally follows them everywhere they go. If they are spotted by a human, these beasts will spew out even thicker clouds of steam to shroud them further and walk away under the thick shroud, never to be seen again by the same traveler. Thankfully, Volcanion are otherwise benign creatures that do not wish harm on others and can make such intentions clear through telepathy, but if they feel that they or their home is being threatened, these monsters will be more than happy to destroy their opponent and ensure that they can continue living out their biologically improbable lives in peace.
In talking about Volcanion, it is lastly important to note the involvement of one in the recent Azoth incident.
The story of this particular Volcanion spans back about 500 years ago with the creation of Magearna, a Pokemon handcrafted by the scientist Nicola through arcane technology and presented to the princess of the Azoth Kingdom. While Magearna was originally intended to be a creature of peace and love, inside of it was the Soul Heart, a device powered by the life energy of other Pokemon that not only held the creature's memories and personality, but also served as the key to a devastating weapon that had been built by the same master as a defense for the royalty of the kingdom, hoping that would be enough to turn the castle of the kingdom into a flying fortress with a weapon that could obliterate anyone and anything that dared to attack the kingdom. However, Nicola realized the danger the weapon posed if it got into the wrong hands, and so stole away with Magearna to Nebel Plateau, a place where Pokemon that had been hurt by humans go to live in peace, where it was found by the Volcanion that guarded the plateau from attacks by poachers and quickly formed a bond of friendship with it. In the present, however, Magearna was captured by the forces of the Azoth Kingdom under the direction of Alva, a tutor and personal friend of the current Prince of the Azoth Kingdom. The prince had been tricked by Alva into thinking that the creature needed to be brought back to the kingdom as that was where it belonged, but in truth Alva was planning on using the soul heart of the machine in order to power up the fortress still contained within the castle and the weapon that only the soul heart could activate. Volcanion and Magearna were chased across the kingdom and even to Nebel Plateau in trying to avoid capture, with a group of traveling trainers and the princess of the Azoth Kingdom assisting them and building a bond with the two along the way. But Magearna was ultimately taken by Alva's forces and its soul heart removed. Alva was able to use the soul heart to power up the castle and activate the destructive weapon built into it, but Magearna's essence did its very best to cause the weapon to malfunction, finding the urge to fire the weapon at anyone and especially not at Nebel Plateau. Sadly, Alva was able to use his Pokemon to neutralize the resistance by hypnotizing the soul heart, and after firing the weapon at Nebel Plateau, the little bit of willpower left fighting the orders of Alva faded from the soul heart. Alva tried to fire the weapon again to destroy the rest of the area, but the wild Pokemon that lived on the plateau, with the help of Zygarde using Dragon Pulse in its complete form, were able to deflect the energy beam attack and save the home from complete destruction. The trainers and princess that had been helping Volcanion were able to board the ship, with Volcanion lending assistance in turn, and Alva was eventually forced to flee the fortress, where he crash-landed on the plateau after his backpack was attacked by one of the trainers' Greninja. The reasoning for his leave of the ship was that, prior to his attempted escape, the soul heart had been successfully removed from the weapon, but in the process the fortress began to lose altitude and was on a collision course with Nebel Plateau. Volcanion used its explosion attack to completely destroy the fortress while all the people and Pokemon on board were able to escape, and while it was thought that the Volcanion had perished in the blast, it had actually survived. Though Magearna had seemingly lost all of its memories and personality as a result of its will being broken, the sight of Volcanion restored it to life, saving the poor creature's heart and soul in turn. In the aftermath of the incident, Alva was taken into custody, and the broken remains of the fortress buried under Nebel Plateau, while the trainers involved in the incident went on their way, and the prince himself left for his own adventure to see the world outside the kingdom.
Volcanion are incredibly powerful monsters that more than bring the power of steam out of the early days of the Industrial Revolution and make it into a terrifying weapon worth fearing in any and all instances. Fire and water usually are types that go very well together, but by combining them to make steam, these creatures are able to take what otherwise seem like opposing forces and use them to both power their forms and defend themselves and others against direct attack. Their potent scald attack is mighty on its own, but the signature steam eruption attack more than outdoes it in terms of power, and is often seen as so dangerous that immediate first aid is needed if it ever makes contact with exposed skin in order to keep it from dealing severe tissue damage. Getting roasted alive by water is not a fate that most would enjoy, and it in turn makes Volcanion very difficult and dangerous to approach. That being said, however, it is important to still note that these creatures can be gentle and calm if they are treated with respect and approached cautiously, and while the chances of actually encountering one might be slim, careful movement and a clear lack of desire to fight might be the only way to get close to them without being assaulted by the strongest offensive tools they have at their disposal.
Majestic in both form and the unique power at their disposal, Volcanion are intimidating forces of nature that can make even polar opposite elements jive together to deliver a scalding impact in battle. They might not be something that most trainers will likely have to worry about encountering, but that does little to mitigate the extreme danger these beasts can cause if allowed to unleash their scalding hot explosive powers upon others.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure that you keep plenty of burn heals and similar items if you decide to go hunting for these beasts, and be prepared to get lost in foggy steam before you even get the chance to confront them and the seething hot water that powers their entire being.
Thank you all for watching this video. It always brings me great joy to see others enjoying the work I do to try and make the world of Pokemon and the fascinating creatures that lay inside of it feel as real as they possibly can. If you really enjoy my work, please feel free to leave a comment and subscribe, as I always do my best to respond to any and all comments that are left on my videos. In addition, if you wish to learn more about my work and help support it, you can find links to my Patreon page, as well as email and other contact information to my work on DeviantArt in the video description down below. Furthermore, you can find a link to my Discord server there as well if you'd like to get a first glimpse at what videos are coming up next and converse with other fans of the world of Pokemon. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and have a wonderful rest of your day.